Hi guys, Steph here from the Novelty Corner, and I thought I'd do something a little bit different today. I thought I would do a bit of a flip through of my 2016 Project Life album. I'm not sure how well this is going to turn out. I've had to move into a completely different part of the house and the lighting's not fabulous and my camera's not really equipped to see such a big space, but we'll give it a shot. And the other thing that you'll see is in some of the photos I have got pink post-it notes or blue ones covering up faces. I am a teacher and occasionally I document what goes on in my classrooms, which means sometimes there are photos of kids in there or just parts of the sides of their faces, and for obvious reasons I have to cover those up. So that's what that is. It's not that I don't want you guys to see what's going on, but I'll tell you what's going on in the pictures. So this year I'm using a 12 by 12 album. This is a Becky Higgins one that I picked up from Spotlight. And my style really varies depending on the week and how I'm feeling. I tend to document on a weekly basis. So usually on a Sunday morning I'll have printed out my photos for the week and I scrap them then. That just helps me keep up to date so I'm not running behind. So when you open it up, this is what it looks like. Okay, so this came with the folder and it's just stopping damage to the pages, which is helpful because last year I had a lot of my pages tear. So this was my cover page this year. I used the Ashley G for 7 paper, the Goldie collection to do this, plus cutting out some numbers from a scrapbooking sheet that I had previously. So courage is my one little word for the year, has my name and how old I was when I started. Okay, so the first week was a double spread, just documenting things that had gone on. I think I was using this must have been a Citrus Twist kit and a Citrus Twist stamp and bits and pieces. And I do use the Collect iPhone app to print my photos. So at this point I was still printing out the captions and the dates on them, and that changes in a little while. Okay, so this was the second week. It was also a double spread, just because it was the school holidays and I was documenting pretty much setting up my classroom, things that I'd bought for my classroom, what I was doing. This year I've tried to include bits and pieces that I've collected as well. So this was the cover of a box for a tea from T2 that I really liked called Gorgeous Geisha, but it's actually sewn or embroidered on the front, and then on the back I included, I think, a photo that just matched with the black background. And this is the second page, and I started using my what is it? Oh, I've forgotten what it's called. My Fuji printer. So my Instax printer. So that was my first week experimenting with that and just documenting things that I do, like my planner layouts and my books that I'm reading. Okay, so the next layout was a 1 week layout on one page, or one pocket page I should say, and this was using the January Brimbles kit, so that's why there's all the gold and bits and pieces, plus a few extra things that I had lying around in my stash. This was the week before I went back to work, so before school started. So this is the week of school starting and going back, and we had a back to school brunch with my team. Now this little flare button, I don't know if you can see, this is actually stuck on the outside of the pocket just because I didn't want to add the extra bulk inside. Sometimes I put them inside, sometimes I don't. And the other thing I've started doing this year is taking screenshots of things that I really like on Instagram and including them. So this was the first day of school, a little poem that was going around Instagram that I really, really liked. Okay, so next up, this was a week where I sort of went a little bit overboard with my title card, and I really, really love it, just adding as many layers. I was trying to use up bits and pieces. This was a 4x6 title card, and I just cut out the date or the words on it. I've also gone a bit nuts this week using my Heidi Swap Colour Shine sprays and mists, just to try something a little bit different. And this week I got some really gorgeous drawings and bits and pieces and letters from my students, so I've kept those. It was the end of January, so I've also included, this was a beautiful mess, clear transparency, so I've just added it as a little divider. It's not meant to stick all the way out, it's just to divide up the weeks. I also got a really lovely letter from a former student of mine who's I taught when she was in grade 1 and she's now in grade 3, so I've just hole punched that and popped that in. This week I was using one of the Beautiful Mess kits, and I've tried really hard this year just to keep my life easy, to pick a kit or a set of things to use each week and just use those, and if I need to pull in extra bits and pieces, I do that. I just find it keeps everything looking a little bit neater. So this is the week of Valentine's Day. One of the things I tried to make sure that I had enough photos every week. I had a little thing going with myself where I would have a photo of myself and a photo of my feet standing somewhere interesting or different or whatever was going on. I haven't done that absolutely every week, but it's sort of a running theme through some of the weeks. And that's kind of a way to document me, not just what's going on around me. So again, more things from school. My gorgeous little dog who likes to cuddle and sleep on my bed. Let's see. Again, this was a Citrus Twist kit, and I had a lot of fun with these cutouts in using them for titles. I used one in just the previous layout. So I've really been experimenting with doing slightly different things this year. And some weeks I have lots of embellishment, some weeks I have none. And it just really depends on how I'm feeling each week, and I don't feel guilty about that. I actually am really enjoying just going with the flow each week. And also this tissue paper that I've used a couple of times, this was from a goodie box, so don't forget to use your packaging, because that was actually what things came wrapped in, and I just love the colour. Okay, this week was a very blue week, and I'm not usually a blue colour scrapbooker. Oh, sorry. So it was, you know, a new thing for me, but it was nice to use a few things that I had that were blue, and try out a few new techniques, like the packaging technique with Tim Holtz Distress Inks. Hadn't tried that before, and I've done it a few times, so that was nice. So this has also been a format for trying new things. Again, using up bits and pieces from Citrus Twist kits in this layout. Trying to use up some cork embellishments because I really don't like cork, but I'm not going to let them go to waste. Documenting just little things like sunrises. I catch a bus to work in the morning, and I'm up usually before the sun rises or as the sun is rising. You know, even the temperature, because this was, we're end of February and it was nearly 40 degrees. So when you're documenting, document you know, things that are just everyday things. Okay, so we're getting towards kind of the tail end of where I am up to this year. So this week was a school fete, or was my school's fete week. So a lot of this was in preparation for that, which is why this is completely covered up, because this was my room on the fete and it's full of people and kids and things like that. But my class store was making placemats and laminating them, and we had lots and lots of glitter and stickers and all sorts of things. And yeah, and it was really, really fun, and that was super nice to document. And I really loved this card from A Beautiful Mess because I had nothing else to use it on, but I thought that's perfect for Fate Week. Next up, this is a very red week, and I'm definitely not a red person, but at my school I am in the red house, Carter, and so we had a dress up as a ridiculous person in your house colour, so I went slightly all out, which was really fun. And that was the same week as Easter week. So my house spirit layout was actually a 1-day layout, and I love the flexibility of Project Life because you can do things in 1 day for 1 day, or you can do them for a whole week, or you can do them however you like. So this was Easter, the week of Easter, not including the house spirit day, and I used the March Brimbles kit. For this, I've got the stationery set, so it came with some beautiful papers and cut aparts, and I just embellished them a little bit. And I didn't do very much journaling at all, or any really, because I just didn't think this week needed it. It was more about the visual and how things looked, and it's all pretty self-explanatory. The other thing to include are conversations, messages that you have with people that you find really funny or really important to you. So this is the last layout so far in my Project Life for this year. This is last week, or the week of March 28th to April 2nd, and it's a 2-page spread. It goes back and front, which I don't mind. I don't have an issue with that. And this was when I went into the city with my mum. She hadn't been into the city for a while, so we did the Shrine of Remembrance, and we looked at some of the laneways. So that's sort of the first part here, the shrine and walking through the laneways of Melbourne. This was the first week that I had a go at hand stitching a title card, which was really, really fun. Took a little bit of time and a little bit of patience, but very well worth it. I love the way that it looks. And then, here. And then the back of this is just some of the other things that we did while we were in the city. And then a few of the things that I was doing at home. So some more photos of my dog, who likes to bury himself in my cushions, things that we were eating, things that I've been making. But yeah, that's everything from my Project Life album so far this year. Let me know in the comments if you do Project Life or scrapbooking or some combination of both. What are your plans for this year? I'd love to see them. I may try at some point to do maybe a Project Life process video, but it's just a bit awkward with my current filming setup to do that. So if I have an opportunity to do it, I will try, in case people are interested. But it is on my list of things to have a go at. But just give me a bit of time to sort it out. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, because I do have lots of other content out there, and I am very much into exploring different ways of using paper and paper supplies to create wonderful things. So thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video, and I hope that wherever you are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.